Hey, what's going on guys? Paradox here and welcome to my Green Black Dragon guide for IronMan and low levels alike. So let's start with the minimum requirements that I recommend for QBD. So I recommend at least 70 defense and a T80 weapon, be that mage or range, which are probably going to be a chaotic. You're also going to want 69 herb lore for anti-fire potions, just the normal ones, or else you're going to get hit very hard. For this guide you do not need any summoning familiars, but if you are going to use a lore food like swordfish, it is recommended to have at least a bunyip. The gear on the left is what I typically use to kill the Queen Black Dragon, and the gear on the right is what I've used at a minimum. Basically just use your best in slot gear, and to be honest it's probably going to be better than mine. As for your pocket and aura slots, use the best aura that you have if you have access to any combat related auras. Vampirism is probably the best one. And for your pocket slot, I'm using the Holy Wrench, which gives you more prayer points per prayer dose, so I think that would probably be your best bet. As for your inventory, you're going to want to use the best food that you have access to, be that sharks, monkfish, or even swordfish. You're going to want a stat boosting potion, just a normal one or a super, and at least 2 prayer potions. As well, you're going to want an anti-dragon shield or anti-fire shield, so you can put that on to mitigate most of the damage from flame walls and extremely hot flames. Also, if you have an enhanced Excalibur or just a regular Excalibur, it's great to have as it gives a great defense boost and or healing. So let's begin with Wave 1. So this wave is pretty basic. You're going to want to plant yourself to the west of the middle artifact. The only mechanic you're going to be looking out for is the flame wall, which she will send at you. As you can see on screen, you'll know when she uses this because in the chat box it will say the Queen Black Dragon draws a huge breath. As you can see, the flame wall moves fairly slow towards you, and there's always going to be a 1 block opening in 1 of 4 places. And one of those places is right beside the artifact as shown in the video, so you won't even have to move. Once you get her health bar all the way down in Wave 1, you're going to want to spam click that artifact beside you, because if you wait any longer she'll start spitting out grot worms. Wave 2 also sees the flame wall mechanic, although now there are 2 as shown in the video. Just run from one opening to the next, or if you can't make it, you can simply time it right and run straight through without taking any damage. This tactic will be explained further later in the video. In Wave 2, she will also use a new mechanic where she will summon a single tortured soul. You will know when she's about to do this because you will see purple text in the chat box. Half a second after it spawns, it will create a chaotic cloud at your feet. In order to avoid this, you're going to want to run through it just after it spawns, and the chaotic cloud will hit the soul and damage it, as seen in the video. Stay where I am in the video at the end of Wave 2 so you can get a quick run to the second artifact so that she only has time to spit out 1 grot worm. In Wave 3 it gets a bit tougher. Now you have to deal with 3 flame walls in a row. Do the same tactic as before, either run through the openings, or if you can't make it, run straight through. It's also worth it to note that you should equip your Dragonfire shield or anti-dragon shield to run through the flame walls just in case, as you will get hit with a 2500 or around that if you do not wear it. In Wave 3 there's also a chance that she will either turn green or blue. In the video you see she is turned green. That means she's more vulnerable to magic damage, but more resistant to physical, which is melee and ranged, and blue is the opposite. She'll also start to spawn 2 souls instead of 1, but you just use the same tactic, run right through them, and the 2 chaotic clouds that spawn will damage the one that you run through. If you leave the souls for too long, there's a chance that Queen Black Dragon will start to siphon health from them. If this happens, just simply attack the soul once and it should die after 1 attack. For Wave 4, the Queen Black Dragon will start to spawn 4 souls on you. For this, it's the same tactic, but this time you're going to be running diagonally through one of the souls. If done correctly, all 4 chaotic clouds will hit the soul that you ran through. You may get hit once depending on how much the chaotic clouds hit and if it kills it. Another new mechanic for Wave 4 is called Time Stop. So you may notice that one soul will stand off to the side and start chanting, time is short, or she's pouring energy into me, hurry. You're going to want to go over there and kill it immediately. If you leave it too long, it's going to freeze your screen for about 5 seconds, and during that time everything can still attack you and it will hit you all in 1 tick after it becomes unfrozen. And for a low level or an Ironman, that's pretty much guaranteed death. Another new mechanic for Wave 4 is where she'll blow extremely hot flames at you. So when you see the yellowish orange text in the chat box, you're going to want to throw in your anti-dragon shield as fast as possible and run to the outside edge. If you get too close to her mouth, then you will take a lot more damage. As well, as you saw in the video, if you don't put it on fast enough, you will get hit for constant 2100s and above until you put it on. Okay, now I'll show you an unedited kill that I did with Batwing and Swordfish, and I'll chime in some tips and tricks along the way. You don't always need to go for the opening. You will lose a lot of DPS if you try to run all the way over there for that opening, so just get a good run at it and run straight through the wall and it will not damage you. Stand right beside the first artifact on wave 1. This is because when you get her health all the way down, you can spam click the artifact and get to the next wave before she starts spitting out grotworms. In wave 2, you're going to want to stand right close to where I am in the video. This is because it's near one of the openings in the flame wall, so you won't have to move much or at all, and you'll be close to the second artifact so you can tag it while only letting her spit out one grotworm. One of the best tips I can give for achieving a kill with a low level or a low amount of food is to kill all the NPCs, kill the worms, and kill the souls. They might not seem like much, but with low level gear they can hit you constantly and will whittle down your health and at your food. Grotworms will typically take 3 to 4 hits to kill, and souls will take 1 to 2. Also, as I mentioned before, equip your shield when you're running through flame walls. As you saw right there, I didn't get a good enough run at it and got hit by the wall, but only got hit 1000 because I had my shield on. Also, on the later waves, try to stay out in the open and not near the edge, as when the souls spawn in you, they'll spawn in a random order and sometimes across the map, which makes luring the chaotic clouds through them a lot tougher. Try to wait for the flame walls to pass the artifact before you run to tag it. As you see in the video, I didn't wait long enough and got tagged with a 2100. Also, the downside with this is you'll have time to spit out 2 worms as you see in the video. And the last thing is pretty much pray to RNGesus that you get good phases. As you see in the video, I'm pretty much screwed. I have no food, and then I get an awesome green phase, which means she's more vulnerable to mage attacks. Pretty much decimated her with 1 asphyxiate, and then I'm waiting for my wild magic to come off cooldown. So I'm just using basics, and music and bust, and finish her off. And I have 0 food, and I'm just about dead from the grotworms. So practice and skill can only go so far. QBD is a very RNG based boss, so pray for no extreme flames and no souls. Just come down here and you can open your loot, and hopefully you get something like I did. And yes, the music was definitely necessary. That's going to be it for this guide, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed watching, and hopefully it will help you out. Good luck getting your Royal Crossbows on your IronMan. And if you want to see any of my other guides, click the link on the left. If you want to watch my previous IronMan series, click the link on the right.